All right, help me out with this passage.
Okay.
Numbers 31. In the aftermath of a battle between the Israelites and the Midianites, Moses tells his men that the young girls who are virgins may live, and then says, "You may keep them for yourselves." What in the world?
Right. Reading that on its own makes many people think, wow, this verse shows the Bible promotes.
Yeah.
But what historical documents require, we need to look at context.
Okay.
So what's going on here? Well, let's set the stage. The Israelites were about to enter Canaan, ending their time in the wilderness. And Balak, the king of Moab, conspired with the Midianites to do one dirty on the Hebrews, who were totally not expecting it. Because up until this point, Israel left Moab alone and wasn't a threat to them. So this Balak fella hired this prophet named Balaam to curse Israel. But when that failed, this prophet, still wanting to get paid, suggested something different.
What was that?
He suggested that the Moabite and Midianites work together to corrupt the Israelite camp from within, using their women to seduce them into sexual immoralities and worshiping their God.
Okay.
So here's God in this covenant with his people, rescues them from slavery in Egypt. They keep wandering away from him like lost puppies. And this is just one instance of them turning their back on him. And the passage says the Lord's anger burned against them.
I suppose if my wife kept cheating on me, I'd be a little rattled too.
Rightly so. So then we come to discipline time. God punishes the Israelites with a plague, and over 24,000 of them die.
Yikes.
Yes, and then of course God sends them in to avenge the Midianites for their deception.
Okay.
And so Moses sends in 12,000 armed men, only going after the Midianites who were involved in the scheme against them. They go in, win the war, burn all the Midianite camps, but they make a mistake.
What was that?
They spare and bring back all the Midianite women who used as a weapon against them. Not only that, but they were the ones who seduced the Israelites to worship their false god, which is what fueled God's anger in the first place. So now we finally come to the passage in question. Moses orders his soldiers to finish the job, but to save for yourselves the women who are virgins. This is because they were innocent.
Right.
Virgins were not. Nowhere will you find that it mentions here. Deuteronomy 21:10 strongly suggests that prisoners of war weren't to be treated as objects. The customs of those days, girls were married around 13 years old, so virgins older than that were probably taken as wives. The younger girls were taken into families, provided for, trained, and most likely worked for the families as servants. They would eventually be assimilated into Israelite culture and trained in the ways of the Lord.
Interesting.
So assuming this verse implies is simply dishonest. Even a plain reading of the verse doesn't say it. But now we know from the context, it's not implying it either.